Hi y'all, sorry about the wait, life was kinda lifing me. I know I said I'd get to Deadlock in the next video, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't feel like playing or talking about that game right now. And as to not seem like a Corey Kenshin, please just take everything that I say that I plan to do in the future with a grain of salt, because admittedly, as much as I want to satisfy you guys, I also want this to still be fun for me. And you know what wasn't fun for me? Having to play Freya for this video. Fun fact, on DPS, I'm a dive main. Another fun fact, I never touched Freya until I started recording for this. Yet another instance of character design being so important to gameplay that, you know, when I saw this character, saw she looked boring as shit, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not playing that. Once again, I'm so sorry that this video isn't about Deadlock. I wanted to meet in the middle ground here, as I did see someone request that I talk about Freya, and while I did see someone ask for me to talk about Malga, I wanted to torture myself before I got to the actual fun. As you can probably tell from the backhanded comments, I really do not like Freya's design. I mean, she's just so nothing burger. When you look at her, what does anything read to you? Or she has a jacket, so she must be from a cold place. Anything else? Do you have anything else? I guarantee you, if I asked a casual player who wasn't a huge lore junkie, they'd probably assume that she was Overwatch affiliated. And you wanna know why I say that? Because when I first saw her, I assumed that she was heroic. Now, what's interesting about Freya is the idea that, you know, she's not inherently trying to be a bad person. She's just like, oh, I mean, I'm good at killing people, so I'm gonna kill people. And I feel like it's important to call out the fact that she is a former Overwatch agent, but now currently isn't one, because she has a lot of connections to Emre, who that description also fits very well. But the prime difference between these two characters is that Emre's primary color is like this orangish red, and Overwatch's primary color is blue. So it makes sense for a former Overwatch agent who is now working against them for their primary color to be red. He's against what they stand for now. He's their very antithesis. So why, when it comes to Freya, who is also a former agent of Overwatch, who also is the only character that we see to have this most personal connection with Emre, her primary color is blue? It's blue? It's blue!
Yeah.
How could blue, man? Colors are so important in getting a read on a character design, not just a character design, but an art piece in general. In art, we're taught to use very few colors in order to give the same sort of central idea to a piece. And while Freya does succeed in using very few colors in order to keep the same sort of central idea, where she falls flat is the actual idea itself. It's really hard to believe that she's this hardened bounty hunter who was wronged by her former organization when she's wearing her former organization's colors. That's like me going, hey yo, fuck Pittsburgh, that city sucks, while I'm wearing a fucking Steelers jersey. And you can make an argument that they wanted it to be blaringly obvious that she was formerly in Overwatch. But this is where the use of subtlety is so important. You could have given her a little necklace that has an Overwatch symbol, or instead of utilizing the main color of her being blue, you could have had it be highlights. A good design utilizes pre-existing or obtainable information in order to feed ideas to the consumer. How are we going to be able to tell that Vendetta and Emre were going to be talent affiliated off rip? Both of them have red as a prominent color in both of their designs. And you know a character design is conflicting with itself when I'm contrasting it with fucking Vendetta. But to be fair, at least Freya's not an under-designed shit stain. Because if nothing else, at least Freya feels like she has a lot going on with her design. I'm sorry, I really wanted to leave behind the colors, but white on top of blue, when the orange from her hair is right there. I don't understand. I don't get. You know, they do a really good job of giving her hunter vibes. I mean, you know, she has the cloak, you know, the fur. Her main weapon is a crossbow. She has a utility belt that actually has shit on it. You never have to wonder, yeah, where's she keeping her arrows? It's in that little pack on her waist. What's frustrating me so much is that I'm really getting nothing here. She feels so blank slate. It's almost Kiriko-esque. When we look at other characters like Sombra, for example, there's always a hyper focus on a specific part of them that expresses personality. For all of my Sombra lovers, we know it's her hands. The constant little flutters and movements let us know of her playfulness. If they're in an aggressive claw form, she's about to fuck you up bad. And we don't just get this from the in-game animations, we get it from the cinematics, from simply how she's posed or highlight intros. And the biggest compliment to that emphasis is the lines going up her fingers. And now for the reason why the thumbnail looks like it does. What does Freya even have? Basically, every other character in this game has something cool that tells you how they like to live their life. Doomfist lets us know that he likes to punch first, ask questions later. Domino's robotic arms let us know that she would much rather command others to do certain things for her than actually do them herself. The clamps around Sigma's head tell us he's losing his mind. Ryan and Brigida's shields let us know how much they value protecting others. Lucio's skates let us know that he's wild and free-spirited. Moira's decaying arm let us know that she doesn't even care about harming herself for the sake of science. Even fucking Onron's mixture of traditional outfitting with sportswear lets us know of her traditional familial values and her sporty tomboyish personality. What does Freya even do? It genuinely feels like when creating this character, they were just like, let's make a pretty bounty hunter lady, and ended it at that. There's nothing that makes her stand out. She just is. And what makes this so frustrating is that she's not the only newer character to end out like this. Vendetta's right there. I mean, let's be real, until her Talon Legendary dropped, nobody really saw Vendetta as a gladiator, did we? No, we didn't. And the issue isn't that we need to understand what they're about off-rip. Off-rip, you're not gonna see fucking Ramatra and be like, oh yeah, he's fighting against racists. But there has to be a focal point, something that makes them interesting, eye-catching. Characters like Freya, characters like Kiriko, like Vendetta, they just feel like nothing but a blank slate. It feels like with each new character, they're just trying to make a new generic anime protagonist. Someone you can imprint your own personality onto so that you can find them more relatable. That's why so many of the characters in this game are starting to look more generic and samey. And the reason that frustrates me so much with Freya specifically is because at first I didn't think her face looked like anyone else's till I looked at fucking Widowmaker. Like, come on, bro. This game prides itself on diversity. Give us something new, something innovative, something cool like the old Overwatch dev team would've. I'm sick of these characters with little to no personality that just feel like a blank slate. And then when you give us something cool like Iyadi, Venture, or freaking Hazard, they don't get any attention. My glorious goat Ramatra is never gonna get a skin, is he? But I feel like a character like Freya was designed with the intention of, oh, this character is gonna sell a lot of skins. Let's make her as attractive as possible and as generic as possible. You know, maybe I'm just regurgitating the same information over and over again, but it genuinely feels like it's a constant issue. A constantly adapting issue at that. One that all stems from the success of a character like Kiriko. It feels like Overwatch is in a constant state of trying to make the next one of her. Another boring, underdesigned industry plant they can slap a million skins onto. And while Freya inherently doesn't look underdesigned like Wooyoung, Onron, Juno, this character is the prime definition of LARPing a good design. They made you think that this design had a lot going on without actually putting anything on it. A bunch of pointless piercings and decals on her that tell you literally nothing about the character. Because rather than come up with an actually cool character with a cool story, they came up with fucking Freya. I think that's all that I have for now. Once again, I'm so sorry to have broken my promise. I'll fulfill it at some point. Probably. Anyways, be sure to check out the next one. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about Freya in the comments. I know you will. Peace.